Hey, welcome back. It is Spencer Forman and Kurt Von Ahnen. Hello, Kurt.
Hey, man.
We are joining you again as we have for a new show we're calling Marketing Hub Solutions. And the concept is really simple. Sell anything, anytime, anywhere for X. This week, we're talking about live and online events. And Kurt, welcome, by the way. Hello. Good to see you as always. I do a couple shows on Fridays. You're doing a few shows during the week. But today and on every Friday, what we're trying to do is take the Gen X, let's be honest, the Gen X mindset of, look, I've got a computer that put men on the moon. And I still use it in a world where AI is generating full-length 4K movies. Why? Because today I talked in my earlier show about human relationships. Today we're going to talk about, as we do on every one of these shows, how you can use less stuff to do more. One tool, one price, hosted on a simple $10 a month setup or whatever, $5 a month, depending on whichever you click, doesn't matter. It's one solution you own and control to sell anything, anywhere, anytime, for salt of the earth businesses, for people who, quite frankly, don't want or need to be WordPress experts, don't want or need to be technology experts. They just want to sell their shit. That's a French term, by the way. What do you think?
I'm down. I think about how many people still operate. Like, I just moved to this small town in Kansas, bro. And there's still dudes driving around with like a magnet sticker on the side of their truck. And that's their marketing. That's their business. Right. And so they don't want, bells and whistles and websites and automations and CRM tools and all this nonsense. They just realize I got to get something going. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I got to get something going that helps me promote that magnet on the side of my truck.
Let's talk about it. I had a client a couple of years ago. I met at a Labor Day swimming pool event who had the most brilliant business. Talk about salt of the earth. I'll leave his name out, but it was called Best of Upper Midwest. And what he did is he got in his truck with his iPad, and he went around in the northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, Indiana, where there's all these lakefront bodegas and resorts, and drive your boat up and get the beer and pizza. And these were good old-fashioned folks who really didn't know the internet from the schminternet. He would go in, introduce himself. He pulls up in his truck. He'd say, just like the Yellow Pages, he'd say, you need to be in my directory because everybody who's driving around a truck or a boat or whatever in this resort town is going to need to know you exist, need to know you have beer or pizza or where to get you. And so all it was $650 one time a year. He took 3, 4, 5 pictures with his iPad, had a dude who just plopped it into a one-page site. And guess what? He had thousands upon thousands of customers who treated it like a Yellow Pages ad. And the beauty of that business was, it was once a year, he'd just drive around in his truck and say hello to everybody again, make sure everything's cool. And the people never canceled. Never. Okay. So let's apply that logic, because I think this is the biggest thing. I was talking to you before the show. I watched the podcast with Sam Parr and his partner, and they were talking about hostage tape, which is like a Dollar Shave Club idea. It's just a piece of tape for people who are like us, who maybe have sleep apnea and whatever, snore. It's like hockey tape. You just put it on over your mouth and supposedly stop. And those two guys, Sam and Shani, who run the show, were like, oh, dumb idea. Guys doing $1.5 million the first year, $4 million the next year, selling like a Sucrets box full of tape. Okay. So the takeaway for today, and we're going to talk about it, and I want you and I to be debating the plus and the minuses. There's really 3 types of events. Okay. And there's 2 categories: live events or online events. So let's put us in this row here, because we're going to talk about this in more detail. Live events are things that would be, because I'm still a little COVID shocked, they're things that people show up to in person. So they're like, I'm going to a place, maybe it's a truck show, it's a car show, a motorcycle show, it's an event at a
gun show.
Well, you do it all the time, right? You're at these all the time. Yeah, bring it on. It's the guns.
It's the gun show.
There's something that somebody would show up for that you might want to actually have a piece of paper, or the person's email shows up electronically. The online events would be in 2 types. They would be one-to-many, like a fixed date. We're doing a webinar. They would be one-to-one, like a consultation call or a Zoom call or something else, whether it's free or paid. there are way more detailed, complex. We can do more ways of doing this. That's what the WP Marketing Hub offers. That's what the solutions that you and I consult on offer. And those are very economical. But what we're going to do today is say, no bueno, mañana no más. We're going to say, this is the one way with one product to sell with the tools we got. What do you think? Shall we jump in?
Sell me anything, anywhere, anytime.
Okay. And I want you to bring in, because the reason we're collaborating on this is that you not only moved to what I call the flyover territory. I'm in Chicago. You're in the flyover territory of like, it's really cool to chill out. I, by the way, used to live in Michigan for a while, so I know what it's like to be out. But like, you have the same kind of customer prospects. Salt of the earth people run the local shop. They have Pippin lives in your town, runs the brewery. You've got people who are just like, look, things have been the same for 20, 30 years. Technology is there, but it's not like ruling our day. Okay. All right. So let's first put things in context. I'm going to put up on the screen, and I may have to do this method. Let's see if we do this. First of all, what we're using here is a solution. I don't want to miss the chance. We're using Poofka. Now, Poofka is a simple way of saying it's $197 one time. You buy it once. Remember back when we were kids in the 90s, Kurt, and we'd buy Microsoft or Adobe products or, well, Macromedia.
I got CDs in a box.
Yeah, you'd get a CD, you'd buy it, you own it. Now you could get a license or pay for it every year, but like they couldn't take it away. And there wasn't this, because the internet wasn't there. Like we didn't have the high speed. There wasn't like this, got to upgrade now, 2 trillion, bytes of data, or it was just buy it, you got it, you ran it for 12 years, right? Did you, by the way, ever do that? Like I ran a law firm. I was in the law business in the 90s, and we had like Microsoft Word, or there was another one. I can't remember the name of it. It was an alternative company that was a word processor.
Word Perfect. Did you have
Word Perfect? Exactly. And that was like
Perfect forever. And
like
Lotus
the
123. Lotus 123.
Lotus 123. Still have the box. That was the first relational database, but I had that product for 12 years. I don't think I ever bought a new version because you had to go down to the software store, right? Like Egghead Software or something to go get a disc.
Office Depot used to have the whole aisle with all those boxes with software, all just box and box and box and box and box.
Okay, so like we know this, and this is one of the fun things about doing a show with people who are of my generation. There may be somebody in the audience who's like, what are you talking about? It's always on demand. Like even video rentals, like going down to Blockbuster Video to rent a VHS was like world-changing, revolutionary. So the concept is every 30 years or so, things come full circle. Bell-bottom jeans, avocado appliances, people like you and me who used to ride Schwinn Stingray bikes. Salt of the earth people buy Poofka once. It's there to use. It is the same key features and software that are in the more complex monthly SaaS version that has more stuff. But for what we're going to show you, that's enough. And then you combine it with, we have a one-click partnership with various hosts that for probably on the order of $50 a year, the whole thing you own and control to sell anything, anywhere, anytime. All right. So just want to make sure we're on the same page, because if you've not seen the earlier shows, Chris is here saying, then came the 12 CDs. Right. There was, by the way, Chris is a little younger, but Chris, you might not know this, but there was things when we were kids when you'd get a magazine and it was an advertisement for the record club, right? And you would pimp out your friends and sign them up for the record club, and they'd get like 2 or 3 albums or little LPs or cassette tapes, and then they would figure out that they wouldn't be sent anymore. But it was just so simple. Like it's just a weird thing to talk about today when everything is available, like instant gratification. Okay, so here's the concept. I have got the site that we had used from the last show, and I'm going to use this for continuity, because when you have Poofka, here's what it is. It is literally an engine. Do not think about this, even though it's possible. Do not think of this in a traditional, I'm going to build out all these complex things. It is like a backroom storage area that has a front cash register that doesn't need to be customized much, but that allows you to sell with one link, one or more products in any way you want, and keep the money in your own business that you own, control, connected typically to a Stripe account. You could use PayPal. I wouldn't. Just use Stripe. And in doing so, these links can be put wherever you want, right? So like last week, we did the oil change, tire rotation. I encourage everybody to check out that show. Today, let's talk about, and let's go over to the two types of show. There's live events, and there's, I say in-person live, and there's online. But either way, let's do the two categories here. This would be an example of using a tool called Canva, which, by the way, you could just use the Pufka website itself, but like this is so much easier. This is like you're going to make an announcement of an event that you can either post on social, put on a YouTube video, do an Instagram, do a website here that's going to have a link to click to let somebody buy. But let's ask a question first of you, Kurt. For simplicity, most people have multiple events, but in your experience, because I have my own opinion, but in your experience, is it really necessary to like have all the events out, or is it just as easy to say, screw it, I know what the events are, and I'm going to make one product for each event, and I'm just going to send an email?
Well, the answer to that's a simple one for me, Spencer, because there's companies as big as, Suzuki or Honda or these big companies that still use things like Eventbrite as a third-party plugin to do events. So absolutely, you can have solo single events that you promote and treat as independent entities.
I want to show you as an example of that very philosophy. So I have clients who do more complex stuff, right? They have full websites, but at the end of the day, all that matters is that you show a calendar. A calendar could be on your website in any other way, or you could just do, calendar.google.com. I'm sure this will pull up my personal calendar here or something like that. But the idea is, whatever your business may be, you can just show a calendar and just put an event on this, and this can be shared publicly. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it would be what we're talking about here, which is you can just do an email, or you could just put it on your website that's just here. Here's the 5 events in June.
Yep.
And in doing so, this is a way to make a pretty display that could be publicly available. But Canva makes it possible to not have to do any graphics or learn Gutenberg. So I did 2 things here. I did, number one, what if we were looking to do a website like as an event? And I say website because it'll make the whole page. Or here, what if we did it for coaching calls? And the difference is just how easy Canva makes it to do beautiful stuff without you having to be like amazing. So, I mean, like, you just make this thing, as we'll do, and you associate the product to it, and we change the button that says click now. Now, let's talk about the concept of what if somebody wanted to, okay, fine, Spence, Kurt, you sold me on simplicity. I'm selling a product, I'm making a beautiful graphic for free, but what if I really wanted to show a calendar? Well, the easiest way would be a free product that you could pay for, but it's free, Calendly. And here's why. The pricing on it is free for one person, one schedule. So I'm going to show you this. This essentially allows you to do something that if you were going to do coaching calls, you could make an event that shows your availability in 2 minutes, and now somebody could pick from that calendar, right? So for example, I think I may have this, let's see if I go in here and I've got an event. This is a sample account. I want to make a new event, and let's say I'm just doing this, and this isn't about Calendly, but this is a free product, right? So I'm just going to use this host that I got. I'm going to say, what's the name of the event? And it's going to be, whatever I want to call it. I can make it my coaching call, whatever, right? So my coaching call, and I can make it for as long as I want, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. I could say phone, Zoom, in person, whatever the heck I want it to be, probably be phone or Zoom. And these make it so easy because, for example, like with Zoom, you can connect and so forth. But just to show you how this works, you can then say when you're available and all of the details, right? So you could just put in a default calendar that says which times you're available. Let's say, I'm available Mondays at, I don't know, a couple hours a day. All right. So the bottom line is it's not complicated. You can set it up in a couple minutes. And my purpose isn't to necessarily show you how to set up Calendly, but the idea is once this is set up, once I've actually done this, now I've got something that I can share with anybody and post it online. So let's take a look at the booking page. Now somebody could look at oh, Spence has Mondays available to do coaching calls, and I'll click and I'll book. Calendly does all the rest for free, sends you the emails. Poofka takes the money, and you see that you have the money. That's it. That's it. Okay. So let's jump in together. And by the way, because this is all like very subjective, we know that there are more ways to complicate this, but let's not keep it complicated. We talked last time with Poofka. All you need is to create a product. So let's pick one. You pick. You want to do an event website first, like a one-to-many, or should we do the coaching call?
Let's do the coaching call. You've already got that one pulled up, and then people should know like that graphic is not set. You could customize that graphic. You could put yourself over the person. You can change the title. You can change the color of the background from blue to gray. You can do whatever you want in Canva, and it's all plug and play.
It's crazy. In fact,
it's actually frustrating.
Let's do that. You know what? That'll actually be fun, because look at this one. See how it's got 2 circles?
There you go.
Or you could do the business seminar, but like, this is a little busy for a template, but watch this, because you and I both are in my Canva, right? So here's the deal. With Canva, you could say, you know, join us for a call, and we'll call this, you know, Kurt and Spence, just as easy as this. Now, what's interesting with the imagery is I can go and see things that I've uploaded in the past, and I just happen to have a picture of a handsome dude here.
Oh, look at that.
I just drop you right in there, baby. Now,
Oof.
I don't want to overemphasize how ridiculously easy that is. There's Chris. But like, that is not easy to do unless you're using Canva. But with Canva, let's put this character in there. Okay, guess what? We're 99% of the way there of this. Now we want to do purchase now, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to set up the product, and here's the order of how this is going to work. We do want people in this case to pay first. It is true that with Calendly and more complex tools, we can make it that the purchase is a prerequisite of the scheduling. Too complicated for today. Instead, we're going to go on the common sense that says, you want to call with us, pay first, and then go pick a time. That's it. Okay, so we're going to make this button purchase now. Let's go over to Poofka. And all we need to do is go into the dashboard. We're going to make a product. Okay, and for that, we at the top have a shortcut here, products, and we just click add new. And this happens so fast, you got to really pay attention, because for the $197, you own this, you control it, it collects the money, you keep it. This is your cash register for everything you want to do, product, services, etc. So we'll call this coaching with Kurt and Spence. Call it what you want. You know we're going to charge $49.99 an hour. Of course, this is high ticket, baby. Okay. We're going to collect that on the credit card. Maybe it's okay, let's do $4.99. Let's be realistic. We're going to do launch flows. It's going to say, where does somebody go when they click on the link? And we do want them to go directly to the checkout. So we type in the existing checkout. You don't have to set up anything. We call this a simple page, so it has nothing else on it. Now, here is the magical part, what you get an option for. Remember, we were just talking about the Calendly. Now, if we want the person to go to a thank you page after they buy, we'll choose the thank you page here. That's totally awesome. We just do thank you. But what we could do is we could take the Calendly and we could embed it in a page, or we can have the link to the page. So like, for example, let's take this and let's just embed this. You see where it says here, booking page options. Okay. We can do various things. And then they have share. Share a link, add times to email, add to website. You can just literally grab this embed code, right? And paste it in line. Okay, so let's just do that for the shits and giggles, kids. All right, so what we're going to do is finish up with the product. We're going to go to the thank you. We'll just make it simple because we don't have to make another page for this. We want to put an image in line. Now, what should we put in line with the image? Same stupid, simple way of doing it on Canva. We can use the thing that we're just making here as an image. Let's just do that for now. We'll just download that first as a PNG file. We don't need it to be that big. It doesn't have to be 1640, but it's not going to hurt anything. We upload this image, and now it becomes the product image, right? So, I mean, this is all happening in real time, folks. There's no net or anything else going on. We upload the file. that I just downloaded.
Clicking without a net.
I mean, it's just crazy simple. And we might usually optimize this. So for example, if the image is a little big, like we don't need 856 kilobits, but that's another conversation. But just for getting it set up. Okay, we're done. The product is done. Now let's make it a little more cool because we want to embed on the thank you page the thing that we just talked about, which is you're going to schedule after you buy. So for that, we just go to the pages and we go to the page that already exists when you buy Poofka called thank you. We're going to edit this and we're going to just put that embed right in line. Could not be any easier, right? So you don't have to be an expert here, but just to give you a hint, you could put it above or below the default thank you information of what they bought. I'm going to put it below. So I'm going to say add after, and then I'm going to just say, in this case, HTML, and I'm going to paste in that stuff, click update, and I'm done. That's all you need to know technologically. Let's take a look at this to make sure that it actually is there. And there it is. So
Boom.
somebody can see the calendar and they can do all the same stuff, but now they're on your own, Poofka site. Now, here's what we want to do. We want to go back to the product and let's get that one click link. That's the magic trick of Poofka, the direct to checkout link. So coaching call with Kurt and Spence. We're just going to go on the right side of the page and grab that link. So right here, it says Launch Flows checkout link, copy. We go back to where we had that nice button about to be made. And I like to click on the button underneath, do link, paste, enter, done. Here's the best part. We're into this show for like 4 to 6 minutes total. We make it a website. So click website, convert to website. And now we can do the free domain. We don't care because it says canva.com. And instead of blue and white modern business, we're going to do call Kurt and Spence, right? Give it your own unique URL. So you can have 100 different events all done for free on Canva. Blah, 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 makes it into a website. Let's see the rock and roll on this. And I mean, I don't care if it's you, your mom, the person working in your, the salt of the earth bodega operator, anybody can do this. But like we talked about last time, Kurt, and this is important. We talked about last time, what if you are a service person? What if you're an implementer? Like, what if you're using Go High Level or you're using WordPress? You have clients that do, they will pay you $500 to do this.
Like, yeah.
$650. That's why I told the story. I mean, and for one thing, and if you want to do it as a regular thing, charge them $300 a month.
Put it on retainer and create that residual. Just keep it coming.
Now, I want you to tell the story before we actually test this, but you've been discussing with me. You have a lot of clients now that you've come across since moving to Kansas who are everywhere from small businesses all the way up to large enterprise businesses. But there's one common thread. I want you to explain your opinion. I say the common thread is that no matter who they are, they want you in a relationship to just take care of the stuff that they otherwise have to figure out.
Yeah. Well, that's part of working with Mañana No Mas and working with me, right? Is that I'm involved in the transaction. So, and I think that's why a lot of smaller agencies get ahead, because it's that relationship that you build. You talk about that all the time, selling relationships over transactions, but it's to the point where I put my customer so much in the seat of just running their business and not having to worry about this stuff. I can just do it. And I send them an email reminder. Hey, haven't spoke to you in 2 weeks. This is what we're doing. Bam, bam, bam. And I could produce something like this and just keep kicking it out, and they'll keep paying the Stripe bill when it comes. I mean, okay, it's just a retainer.
That's the magic. So let's use this in a comparative for the two types of customers we're talking about. If you are an end user, have a business, and you just want to buy this product, you're on an airplane, you see this in a magazine, National Magazine or something. This is a one-time impulse buy that gives you a permanent way to take money, collect money, track money, your CPA, and everybody's happy into something that's safe, secure, that can always do more, but right now it does the most important thing. If you're an implementer, you could have clients that are everywhere from an entrepreneur up to an enterprise. And Chris is saying what I was about to say. You have productized a service into something that we've just demonstrated for the second week in a row. You can be up and running in under 5 minutes for a very powerful, very beautiful output. Now, ask any of your corporate clients, and you have some large names, you can discuss that if you like, that they're paying you to do this. Do they need to know that you use this tool? They don't care. They just want it to look good.
In fact, I'm going to go one step further. The miraculous growth of my agency in the last 18 to 24 months, I think strategically came from, I stopped discussing all the minutia. I just said, what do you need? What do you want the site to do? What do you want your business to do? Okay, I got tools that'll do that. And then
how much will it cost me?
Yeah, I can have it done in 2 months. It's going to run you, I don't want to say numbers online, but you know, there's sizable income to be made on this type of strategy.
I think what's interesting about when we're talking about this morning about this, is it Sonora? What's the new AI video? Sora, I think it's called. Yeah, Sora. So there's all these things that those of us who grew up in the age of new software, I've been a video producer and a video digital photographer and an analog photographer forever. This is now you're going to use words to tell the thing to make videos and clips. Now, I was speaking earlier today. What does that mean to you if you're a business owner who's in the process of doing editing with Pinnacle Pro or Adobe or, you know, Apple? It's like you either shift your focus on delivering the finished product using whatever tools, or you just die, because there is no possible way that you can manually create the stuff as quick as AI. But what you can do is recognize that the client does not have the need, the desire, the wishes to follow all of the new stuff. And they're just like, I need somebody I trust to do it. So you spend $197, you get the product, you put this out, you're spitting out Pufka solutions all day, or get the full launch kit or marketing hub solution, right? And, you know, less focus on how nice it looks, more focus on what it can do, function over beauty. Exactly, because, right, it's pixels on the page. Doesn't matter how they get there.
And and we talked about this before the call, Spence, but I just want to say it for the people watching. This is not a dead end. This is not a, oh, I wish it did more situation. This gets you what you need. This gets you out of the blocks. This gets you on your proof of concept. This gets you to market quickly and affordably. And if you want to jump in and confuse things or make things more complicated, you can. You can add features and program. You can add platforms. You can do, you want courses, you want this, you want apps, you want all this weird stuff. You can do it, but you got to start somewhere. And this, for a lot of people, is the answer, but it's not a dead end. This could be the step to get you further down the road if you choose. But I think it's real important just to mention that it could be standalone, or you want to take it somewhere else, you could.
I mean, because we're discussing this, like, so for example, this is all available at pufka.com. This is a $197 one-time purchase, fully updated, fully supported, does everything you want. But what we're saying is it's that stop on the value ladder, the choo-choo train between the $97 or $297 a month that we offer inside of Marketing Hub or inside of the Marketing Hub agency that works with any CRM like Go High Level or so forth. But along the way, there's still, like at the checkout stand, right? There's the impulse buys. I'm going to buy some AA batteries, a People magazine, some chocolate. That's the same stuff that's in the bigger part of the store, but you're just buying it at impulse. Pufka is your impulse solution that you must have for yourself or your agency to solve this infinite array of problems and deliver the same. I mean, it's a cheat system. In 3 minutes, you can deliver the kind of stuff for yourself or your client that if you were doing a client, I would charge $500 to put this together. Shh, do not tell them that I took Pufka out of the fridge or the freezer and just made a copy of stuff. Shh, don't tell them I set them up on the free Calendly and the whatever, and that I'll manage it once a month for $300. It's just, right?
My brain is now just swimming with stuff. I'm thinking local, regional, live events, because we're focused on live events today. Dude, This is like selling the table space at the weekly farmers market. This is a flea market. This is the gun show. Dude, it just goes on and on.
Well, because here's the reason why. I'll tell you a story about a product that I created using LaunchKit that sells amazingly well. It's the Parents Club. Now, it's still online. Here's the Parents Club. This is a really simple site. Now, this could be done, again, the same way. It's just for a parents club or fraternity to say, we're having a Dad's Day weekend, purchase what you need. Exactly what we're talking about here. Now, I actually had many of the parents in this club say, first of all, this is the most brilliant thing in the world. Why? Because right here, this line item, and if you can see this donation to parents club, the parents are expected to pay $30 each. There's 500 parents. That right there is $15,000 of revenue for the parents club. Now, 3 minutes to set up, costs $50 a year to own and control. And here's the best thing. All of these orders come in with all the names, the emails, the information. So instead of these million janky things going out through Gmail or whatever, you've got a system that also, and this is my other point, can expand into more stuff. So if you start at the base impulse, you got the key features, right? You're nodding your head. You know where I'm going with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. All right. So let's take the expansion of this. Let's do two things. First of all, I also wanted to say, we're right now making this beautiful banner for one thing, one event. But this thing could be used as a presentation from Canva. It could be put into an email. It could be used as part of an Instagram feed. It can be used with AI to create an animated movie. I'm going to show you this in a second. And the end result is still, we've got the website. Let's click the button. Boom. The product is sent directly to the checkout. By the way, we have to change the logo here. We had some leftover oil change, but here it is. The coaching with Kurt and Spence, ready to buy. And by the way, because we used this last week, we know the credit card has already been saved. So for somebody who's your customer, they don't even have to think about this. They can just place the order and call it a day, right? Now, we mentioned, by the way, this has the logo. The Pufka site to change the logo is as simple as just going in and just taking a Canva image and changing it out, right? So here, click customize. And since we're on this, we don't have to do a new logo, but we'll just change it to, for example, the logo from Pufka. Click on the logo and just say what you want it to be, right? So we'll click and we'll make that back to change the logo, and we'll use the original Pufka logo, right? Or we can make a new one in 2 seconds on side of Canva. And now it's back to Pufka. We say that's a little big. We make it smaller. We're done. Simple. All right, let's do the next thing though, which is, what if we take the same asset and we want to reuse it for another event? The neat thing about using Pufka and Canva is you don't have to make everything from scratch. So if you go back over to edit the design, you just click edit, and now we can change, for example, like the date, right? So it's the 20th of May. And by the way, I'm changing my name from Olivia Wilson to Spence.
I kind of like Rufus.
I think you actually are a good Rufus there. Kurt V. Now, we just changed that. We can save this as a new thing. So we have a running asset, number one. Number two, remember we just talked about, like, how cool would it be if we put some animation in here and da-da-da-da-da. Well, Canva gives us all this amazing stuff. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to use the photos or videos. So this, I think, requires the $9 or $12 a month thing, but I could put in here, for example, I need a video about marketing. And I don't know, it's just some cool animated tchotchke. They have infinite amounts of cool stuff, right? Let's pick something that's, I don't know, real jazzy like this. You don't have to have any video skills whatsoever. You can literally take this, and I'm not sure where we might drag this into, but maybe we'll just, you know, drag it down here into the corner. I'm being ridiculous. Maybe we'll put it right here. Okay. The point I'm saying is you don't have to be an expert in design or an expert in how to do anything other than drag and drop. And now when I publish this, I would have an actual video in place that would take this to the next level, right? There's many other things that you can do in here, including you can do, when you do the share button, you can make printable versions of this. If you're doing business cards, you can do QR codes so people can scan it with their phone. You can do it where it's sent in mobile version to the phone. You can do, of course, all of the socials. So the idea, back to our original starting point, you have one engine to make the product, to take the money, to sell. You use that with a tool like Canva, or just take the link and publish, but you can make any beautiful thing as simply as you want, as a service or an end result, and then you can repurpose it again and again and again and again and again, right? Okay, let's do one other cool thing here, which is, let's do the other idea. I mean, it's the same concept, so we don't have to belabor the point, but if we were going to do something that was, instead of an event of like a coaching call or something, that you could do just a different style of thing and the same concept. So let's pick
Rock the
something.
Wild Festival.
Well, you see a good one in here, a festival?
Oh, Rock the Wild Festival. That was good.
Oh, you see it here? Oh, that was the thing you went to.
It was down on the right, a couple rows down.
Rock
There
the
it
Wild.
is.
Let's do it. All right. We're going to do Rock the Poofka.
I want to rock.
Ow. Okay, here we go. The kids are like cringing right now. Now watch this. See how this is a little too big? All you got to do with this Canva is so easy, because it's just what you see is what you get. You just use that. You can change whatever. Poofka.com. Again, same concept. We could just do, click to buy. Now, let's do the same thing of repurposing. So remember we talked about TV dinner a second ago. You do not have to worry. Your products are in the back storage room. So when I want to redo something, I save a ton of time. I just go here and I click duplicate. And we just rename the thing in 2 seconds. So coaching call with Kurt becomes Puka Festival. We change the price. This is only $49. Everything else can remain the same, except we're going to want to take that image, right? So we'll just do the exact same thing, which is let's download. Now in this case, it's a bigger graphic. We might want to take a piece of this, but we can just download a PNG because it doesn't have to show the whole thing. So let's take the first page. We don't have to use every one of the 7 pages. So I unclick all of them, just say first page, done, download, same thing. All of this is to demonstrate, if you can't follow the steps in this live video, there's something wrong with you. I mean, honestly, right? There's no excuse. We say replace image, we click upload. There's really no getting lost in this whole thing. And then here, this is home. That was the name of the image. And we're 95% of the way there. Once it's done. Okay, we publish and we copy the link, right? So now we've got 2 products in 15 minutes of us talking. We're going to go ahead and close this, because what we want to do is get that launch list checkout link, copy, and we just do exactly the same we did before, where we're going to use click to buy, and we're going to say add the link. And I also want to point out, which it's really important, this link works everywhere. So it doesn't have to be inside of Canva. Let me show you. If you just went anywhere, we've done this before. You're tweeting away, right? Rock the Poofka. You paste it in. And again, if you have the site, it'll have the URL. But that's it. You're done. You've got something that if somebody clicks on that, boom, they're getting the Rock the Poofka product. There it is. Poofka Festival, ready to go. I'm going to get rid of this because I don't want too many people to buy this while we're on this live video. Okay, so let's finish publishing this. And I should probably close a couple windows, but let's do the same thing. So we say publish website, and we can give it a unique name with or without navigation. And we'll just call it, Poofka Festival. Poofka Fest. If you have your own domain, if you have your own site, you can go ahead and just use this either embedded, or you can use it with a custom domain instead. But who cares? When you go to Amazon.com, they really, nobody looks at the URL of the pages. All right, so it takes 2 seconds. And by the way, this is even for the free Canva. So so far, there's just the one-time purchase. We view the website, and ta-da, here we are, Rock the Poofka, click to buy. I mean, it isn't going to get easier than that, is it, Kurt? I mean, other than us coming to your house and doing it for you. Now you've got 2 of them.
It's a mixture of feelings, because I think of the 20 years of working, designing websites for people, and now you can do it in 5 minutes on Canva. That's frustrating. But what a cool tool. What a cool tool.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I appreciate is when you buy this for $197, you are starting a relationship with me, with you, with this product. Because see, at the end of the day, in the 20 years of doing technology, I mean, we were just joking about it. Like, oh, remember we went down to the software store and we had a computer that wasn't connected to the internet all the time. We had dial up and okay. We're like every day revolutionizing everything. And I don't even think we're going to be looking at the screens for very long. So for me, what's important is $197, you immediately can start making a living on your couch, from home, or even as a pro implementer, because you've empowered your client. What they're buying from you is the simplicity of a solution that gets them what they want, where you can say, you go to Canva and you use this tool and you pay me just to take care of the rest. And tomorrow, when the AI goggles work and the implant in your brain and the virtual augmented reality, you don't have to think like, I just invested 2 years of time into setting a Buddy Boss and all the stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Buddy Boss and the app and the this and the that. Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Let's wrap it up on that conversational point. So I want everybody, first of all, to go over to poofka.com. It's $197. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee. We have partnerships with hosting companies that for between $5 and $10 a month, you'll just get Poofka installed, set up, ready to go with the hosting. So you don't even have to put it on a site. But if you're using a site and you know how to use a regular hosting, it has a one-click install. You've got everything you need, updated for life, supported as far as the software for life. But we're not doing like your business support. We're not going to help you with your business because this is so simple. This is like you bought a shovel from Home Depot. We guarantee the shovel. We're not going to give you like come to your house and dig the holes and give you advice on planting your garden. But what we will offer is the next step up the channel. So when you start doing this and you start building your business relationships with clients, we're there to go to the next level. That's going to be, your marketing hub, your launch kit, the marketing automation, the more complex things. But this gets you in the door for your own business, your client's business, and it's bulletproof because in the first 5 minutes of using it, it will pay for itself. Okay. I want to wrap up with us talking about something. We have just a couple minutes. Let's talk about the concept of simplicity in terms of the other things that come, because we were having a good time of this. And I think it's probably going to be an interesting part of the show. We were talking about Buddy Boss. We were talking about the stack of more complex stuff in Launch Club. In WP Marketing Hub. The idea is that many clients come pre-equipped with a notion of what they need because of something they saw 6 months ago, 2 years ago, like social networking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were very clear, and I want to give you the mic because I've been hogging the mic all day showing this demo. But like the complexities of that commitment are a fool's errand today, I think. What are your thoughts on that?
People just need to know what they're signing up for when they do it. There's this it's the commercials, man. It's the you can make a website on Squarespace in 15 minutes. And then there's a learning curve that goes with any of these things. And so, what do you want to do? Do you want to run your business or do you want to be a webmaster? And you got to kind of make that decision. And this idea that, you're going to put up an online course and then stand next to your Lamborghini next year downtown. That's just it's not real. Like there's all that work still has to happen to promote, to market, to develop, to build community. That all has to happen. And so when we have these conversations about the bigger projects, it's like, I'm all in. I'm a developer. I love making this stuff. I'm an implementer. It's a hoot, but you got to make sure that the expectations in line with the work you're willing to do to go with it.
I think I would expand on what you said by the following. I think in a world of infinite yes and infinite technology and infinite people just begging to get your business, that people will be more responsive to an implementer or a person in our position offering a product that's like Hostage Tape, that's like Dollar Shave Club, that's like, the answer is no. Or as Derek Sivers used to say, it's either hell yes or it's no. And what I mean by that is there are certain components that we've curated into the launch kit, into the marketing hub that are more complex and allow you to do a million things under the sun. But the Poofka product is very similar, as I mentioned, to like 37 Signals new product once, buy it once and that's it. Because saying no is what differentiates you from everyone else, because everyone's like, sure. And then everybody's a yes man. And the person who says no, it's like, whoa, Emperor's New Clothes, kid. And when it comes to complex things like Buddy Boss, I love Michael Eisenwater and his partner, Tom Jedi, and they built an incredible business. But the promise of social networking has failed all of us. And the idea over 20 years, and Zuckerberg has proven this, that somehow if you put money into giving a social network, you're going to make more money. has been proven false. Why? Because top down offering products, services, advice is what people want, spoon fed. Arguing with trolls side to side, and then the person who owns the site having to babysit that and to push the technology up through Apple and Android. And I mean, thousands upon thousands of dollars invested to create a kids camp where everybody's throwing, spitballs at each other versus no, here's what I'm going to do for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was just doing a live, last week on this very topic, Spence, and I was talking about, different socials and how to grow a LinkedIn audience. Right. But it was like, what happened to Google Plus? Like they shut down Google Plus at 560 million users or something like that. Right. And they considered that a complete failure. So it's like, what is the benchmark in social? How does it work? How does it interact? How does it bring people together? And if you think that you're going to sit in your garage and re-engineer social and launch the new thing, it's a daydream. It's just not, that's not reality.
I think the reason that it's important to us when we discuss something like Poofka is that I, for example, have always been a critic of SEO. I've always been a critic of non-measurable things like buying Facebook ads. I mean, they're measurable, but they're really not measurable. I've been a critic of Google Analytics, which again, Sergey and Larry, they've made a quadrillion-dollar business, but it's a lie. It's always been a lie, not a conspiracy theory, but a lie. Because for example, Google Analytics, even when it worked, was keeping the data from you about who the real people were visiting, but Google knew and could sell ads against the real people with a cookie on all their devices. Still happens. If I mention a feminine hygiene product, I'll be getting ads across all my devices in 10 seconds. But you couldn't know that. What I'm saying is the real truth is that if you have a customer who you really speak to, who has a real pain, just like the best of Upper West guy, you go to the bodega in your truck, you show up dressed like an appropriate good old boy or girl or whatever, and you say, I understand your business. Here's the pain you have. You need a Yellow Pages ad for the modern times. You can sell Poofka, mark it up, sell it again and again and again and again, and become the person that this less sophisticated person wants to deal with versus chasing all of the toys, chasing the technology. And even if you've used them successfully, it's a fool's errand today versus what's bulletproof in the future. Bulletproof in the future is if this moves off the screen, the people who used to have the bodega on the website are going to go, hey, Kurt, nobody's on the website anymore. I need to figure out a way to get my business into their, Google this or Apple that vision glasses. And you're going to be that person, right? Okay. So what we're doing now is we're going to say, thanks for the show. I would like everybody who's checking us out, visit poofka.com. Kurt is, I enjoy that we're doing these conversations. The show, this thing is evolving. What we're going to do is probably continue on and giving other examples. But what I really think it's evolving into is we're going to see how the product does on its own, because this is another benefit of it. There's zero risk to anybody. Now, I was explaining to folks that this is going to be going out into a larger audience of people that I already have. So we already know that people will buy this and use this. We've already been using it. But what I'd like to hear from you guys is, do you have other ideas for future shows? Comment where you watch this video about things you'd like us to show, because I think what we were going to do for our next one was we were going to come up with another concept and put together the templates and all of the doodads so that if you buy Poofka, you will actually get the things we demonstrate, or you get the full setup. And I think that's a value proposition that we can both wrap our heads around. Can't beat the price, but just because it's like even more a one-click done and done. I talk a lot because with the demonstration and just my nature, I hog the microphone. But Kurt, do you have anything else to add, or otherwise, where can folks find you? Because this is about us and Poofka, but like, where can folks contact you for your advice, your consultancy, your socials, and so forth?
The best way to get me one-on-one or to connect with me is on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn almost every day, and I'm the only Kurt Von Ahnen on LinkedIn. So when you find me, you got me, right? So right. That works. And then Mañana No Mas is my agency, and anything that has to do with Mañana No Mas is me. But in terms of Poofka, dude, it's just so simple.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Grab the link, throw it out there. If you want to put it in a graphic, go to Canva, just like Spence is showing you. I mean, I said it earlier, it's super frustrating. I'm graphically handicapped. And so I spent years trying to learn and figure out how to do graphics. And now I can sign into this website and click a couple of things and have it. But then you put your link in and it's done. And they give you the free URL. You want to make it a website, make it a website. And then you pop that link out there.
And this applies, I mean, I don't want to leave anybody out, but this applies. For example, I had a fella come online the other day who was using Visio, and I have people using Microsoft Office, and I have people who are using Adobe Macromedia products.
PageMaker.
The same thing applies. It's one link, any product, anywhere, anytime. That's it. But Canva just is a great tool for anybody to use in general. But even if it was just directly to your socials, that's the concept. And so if you guys have questions, reach out. Otherwise, I want to say thanks for everybody who attended today. And if you're seeing this video over the weekends and in the future, go to poofka.com, POOFKA.com. It's $197 one time. We will have links if you need the hosting, so you can click and have it already set up for you. Done. Between $5 and $10 a month on average, something like that. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't require a lot of hosting power. If you already have a website, you can just pop it in there too. Easy enough. Thanks for joining me, Kurt, this week. And I hope we'll have a great show for next week as well. And we'll say thanks to everybody who's here. Ciao.
See ya.
Bye.